Okay, put my phone in airplane mode. Because I'm addicted to my phone.
Yeah? Do you actually, like, find that it's hard to, like, not use your phone? Like, if you're, like, sitting there... Because, like, when I'm hanging out with people, I never want to use my phone. But when I'm by myself, that's when it's bad.
So, I would say... This is an example I give of how bad my phone addiction is. I just got this phone as a replacement for, like, my phone before this. Front-facing camera cracked. 2 of the back-facing lenses cracked. And so I was like, okay, it's time. So I went on backmarket.com. I bought a new phone. This came in the mail. I went to set it up. I realized none of my social media apps were logged in. So for 2 weeks, to try to, like, retrain my brain, I was walking around with just this phone with no apps logged in. And then I got drunk at this wedding this weekend and was so... thirsty to be scrolling that I caved, I logged in to the app. So the 2 phone thing is no more. It was like, I literally went to my friends. I was like, you guys, I have this great idea. I'm going to have a work phone and a regular phone. And it's like the phone with the social media on it, all the cameras are broken. So I was like, I just can only look at it in bed before I go to sleep. But then this phone will be, and then that lasted like 5 minutes before I was like back. But yeah, it's something I need to work on. When I am with people, it's the thing where it's like, if I'm really, I'm like, I'm trying to put this as kindly as possible. I feel like I just have a horrible attention span. I have ADHD. I'm unmedicated for my ADHD. My attention span has gotten worse in the years since. And I think also now that I don't, we had talked before we started recording, I have an addictive personality and I used to like, drink, smoke. I would do different drugs to kind of like help me, not be as aware of my wandering mind. But now that I don't do that, I am like soul crushingly aware of like how distracted I am all the time. And it's, yeah,
you can't not notice it.
Yeah. And it's one of the things where it's like, if I'm in person with people, it really just depends. Like I think I have to be like fully captivated by what's going on, or I have to like force myself like, Jamie, we are going to focus. And it is kind of like, it can be exhausting for my brain and my like, I don't want to say my body, but it's like, it does cause me mental exhaustion to focus for like extended periods of times.
Yeah. And I feel like social media for like people like that, for one, I feel like it's given people like backwards. It's given them the symptoms of ADD or ADHD like they wouldn't have had before. Now they exhibit those symptoms in a way that you would have never seen, just because that opportunity for them to exhibit that very behavior of them like getting addicted to the phone. Like that is an ADD behavior that's just built in.
Yes.
That's built into the way they want you to use the phone. They want you to always look at it. So it's
they
crazy.
want me to, I was like, they want me to always look at it. And it's funny because it's like, we're talking about the addictions, and it's like, I feel like it's just like, it is probably my one longest running addiction that I just like haven't been able to break. But I have gotten better at like, I think I've like, I'm managing it a bit better. What I do think I need to do is I tried to do the thing where like, I just made it so that like my apps all turn off at 10 p.m. But the thing is like, I have a nighttime, like I should make it less. They all turn off at 10 p.m. and more just like limiting the amount of time overall. Cause what'll happen is all of my apps turn off at 10 p.m. So I'll be driving like to or from a show, and like Spotify cuts out, Google Maps cuts out. And it's like one of those things that's like, what I'm trying to say is like the sentiment is there, the desire to want to change is there. I just feel like I've not found something that actually works yet.
Well, because like, I feel like the reason I could never escape it is because I'm doing things on social media. That's what drives me insane. Like, even if I wanted to, how would I do the things that I do if I didn't use social media?
Yes. And the thing is like, I hear so many people who are like more successful creators than me say, like, cause I'll watch some of these like Q&As with them just cause like, I'm a little dork. I'm like, yeah, tell me your secrets. Like, let me know. I very much like am still like I was in school in that way, that like I love to just take in information and like learn how to do things from people who are better at the things than me. And a lot of people have said, and this is why it's like I've been trying to implement these systems. The thing that I keep hearing by and large is like, you have your social media, if you're making it your job, you treat it like a job. You clock in certain hours, but you're not accepting work emails once you clock out.
Right.
Which I think is like really kind of just, I it's like what I've tried and failed to do, which is that, yeah, you can give yourself like time that you're scrolling on social media. In theory, like you could count that as like, these are research hours. Like, 'cause yeah, you're figuring out what's hitting and what's relevant right now.
Oh, especially if you're doing comedy, right?
Especially doing, yeah, it's like you're doing, research, but I feel like it's like at a certain point, unless the project requires 27 hours of research, you probably don't need to be scrolling for 27 hours. Like you can allow yourself, like, I'm going to give myself like an hour of scrolling a day, but beyond that, it should just be you're logging on to post the thing and then logging off.
I guess
what the people who, and when I say like, I'll kind of seek out these Q&As with successful creators, like people with 1 million or more followers, just because it's like, I've always been curious as to like what works. 'Cause I think different things work for so many, like you'll see one person who makes like really high quality sketches or like music video. Like I would compare it to like what Stephen Haas makes, like very high quality. It's pre-written, it's predetermined. And then you'll see somebody with a huge following that is like unboxing beauty products, or
right.
you know what I mean? Like just like going on camera as themselves. And so it's like such different approaches, but I think I think it's like interesting to hear. I think by and large, a lot of the people that I've looked up to have had that balance where they're able to log off. And so I'm trying to get better. But as we discussed before the camera turned on, we both have addictive personalities. And so it's
right. Well, that's hard. Good to look at people who know what they're doing. That's good advice, though, because that's really all you can do, right? Is like look at like what I imagine the key would be, if there's anything that would make sense. It would probably be like once you generate enough revenue through the thing, you could then hire someone perhaps to manage the social media in a similar way that you would have done it before. So you could find the right person and just show them everything you've already done and say, hey, just post like I post. Maybe like run it by me every now and then. Like you just pay them. That's all you'd have to, and then you don't have to ever use it again. That's probably...
That sounds so beautiful.
But really, the distinction between scrolling and posting is another good one too, right? Because scrolling and posting are two different things. Because that's what fucks me up too. I'll post, and then I'll be scrolling for the next like fucking 30 minutes because I posted, and because I just saw a thing. I'm like, oh, this person has a story. I'll just run through these stories. Okay, there's a post right here.
And you're just on.
Yeah, it just catches me.
When I know, like, another thing that, like, I talked to, like, a friend who I collaborated with a lot, Alexa Yeager, we had discussed the fact that, like, I really struggle with, like, when I first post something, I want to keep refreshing to see how it's doing. And it's just, like, that is, especially then... is when you need to just fucking turn off your phone and go touch grass. Like literally go anywhere else but the website. Like you put it up. It's almost like I feel like, especially like with posting something, with all the ways that everything's changed, like you can do research of like SEO and honestly, I don't do this stuff. This is stuff that I watch these Q&As and I take what resonates, leaves what doesn't. But it's like, in theory, like you could like do the perfect SEO and do really, really catchy opening, and you have a cool title card, and it goes on the main, all the shit, whatever. Still, I would compare it to like, if you're doing a crock pot slow cooker beef, you don't sit there and keep opening. The beef won't cook. Like the whole reason you're doing a slow cooker beef is so you can fucking leave your apartment and go have fun with your friends and come back and have dinner. Yeah. You know? So I feel like it's like, that's kind of how I've been. A lot of this stuff, like I said, it's funny because I'm talking about this as I'm actively in the process of like trial and error. And like, I mean, I've experienced like, I've been on social media since I was like 14, but like, I'd say as far as like with the reel and TikTok shit, I've been doing that really since like, I kind of loosely started in 2020 just because I was so bored during the pandemic. But I feel like it's one of those things where it's like, I still am figuring out what I'm doing, is what I'm saying. But,
is that what you mean by trial and error?
Yeah, it's in that trial and error. And I think it's like, it's basically like, I feel like with the social media stuff, like, especially in the comedy sphere, people are so opposed to, like, there's so many people who are anti-using it. They're like, fuck it, I should be able to do live show. And like, honestly, if that's what your truth is, like, that's your truth. Do your truth. But I like, basically, I feel like because I kind of like let those points of view get into my head a bit, and I for a long time I felt really insecure about posting stuff because I was like, oh, my peers are gonna see it and make fun of me behind my back. You know, what I'm saying is I'm in the point in my life where I'm trying to let that go, and I'm trying to just like try the stuff that I've heard works, and I'm trying to approach it more as like, yeah, this is something I do towards my career than like as a consumer. Because I think it's like social media is made in a way that it's very easy, even though you're trying to use it as a tool to like further your career and like connect you with your community, this, that, and the other. It's very easy for you to be pulled in as a consumer because it is like set up in a way that like you want to scroll, you want to engage. And it's like, I think that it's about, I guess what I'm saying is like, it's about engaging for the right reasons. Like doom scrolling is different from like actively going and seeking out like the creators and the people that you care about and engaging with their content, or like, you know.
And I would say though, there's a couple of things they've done that kind of like are lame in that respect. Because with Instagram now, you can buy the blue check mark thing, which is cool, but it didn't used to be like that. It used to be they would verify people. Now you pay for it, so it's become like a thing you buy, so that way people think you're more official. Like it's just okay. So that's them commodifying. And then what's the other thing? Oh, with the ads. Because with Facebook, I remember ages ago in like 2010, it was crazy. You could pay $15. It was like 2012, I think maybe it was 2012. It was right around, I don't know, 12 years ago. 12 years ago or longer. And you could go on Facebook and you would pay about $20 and you would get like 4,000, 5,000 views on your video. And it was like organic views. But this is ages ago now. Now, if you paid the same amount to Instagram or Facebook, you paid $20, you probably get like 400 views, 500 views. It gives you nothing. But like compared to then, it's crazy. And just in every regard, it's been worse and worse. Like there's also another thing with like Facebook with pages. The amount of Facebook pages you would see on when you're scrolling, it used to be like 2%. Yeah. And then it became like 0.2% over the years. So that's why if you have a Facebook page and you're posting on there, it doesn't get any attention because Facebook doesn't show it to anybody.
It doesn't show it to anybody.
Because it's been programmed not to. And what they want is for you to pay for it. So then you can't just post it and leave it alone because now they want you to start paying and they want you to do all these things. They trick you into it is what I'm saying.
It's like the thing that sucks is like once you pay for it once, I think it's like it will fuck with your views until you consistently pay for ads over and over again.
Oh, maybe, yeah. With YouTube, I've heard that for sure.
Yes, and I've never paid for anything I've never paid to advertise on YouTube, and I've never paid to advertise on TikTok, and I kind of intentionally kept it that way. Like anybody who's been on any of these social media apps, like you get the little like 20% off coupon, and I'm like, I'm like respectfully, I'm not fucking doing that because it's like I know the second I do that, anytime I post anything that I want to get any views, you're going to force me to pay to get, and it's like I'm not doing that. I did,
and it used to be better.
Yeah, I feel like it is. I guess just the thing that I would say is like I think it's. I'm trying to remember the creator who posted this video, but I saw a video recently that was like he was talking about like treating social media as like an opportunity for community building, and I really think
good. Yeah, I
like that's literally I think that's the only way we have left to find our audience is to just like because I feel like there's this like it's this it can be this like frantic content mill if you're not doing it intentionally. And it's like I'm not saying like everything has to be like perfect, like we're not doing like the Alinea of social media. Like I'm saying you can open your camera and say some stupid shit, but it's like I do think that like it's just I think it's in my opinion, I think people should be making stuff that is true to themselves as artists, and the right audience will find you. You don't need to like just go with the trends or try to just be generating stuff just to generate stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, no, and that's like another thing I was going to say is that, especially with TikTok, I mean, it drives me nuts because it's like built into the framework of how they want you to use the app. It's like there's a trend and TikTok rewards you for doing a video in relation to the trend. So you'll see like a bunch of kids doing the same dance. And in my mind, it's like you're building that into their minds. So like, that's what content is, like, to just do the thing you already saw.
Saw somebody do. Yeah.
And it drives me nuts because TikTok tries to feed me this stuff, and I hate it every time. Like, I don't want to see the same video 20 times. I wouldn't want to see that. I'd rather see someone do something original
and new. Yeah,
but they want you to copy things and repeat things, and it drives me nuts.
No, and I
like, why would anyone want that?
Yeah, and I think it's a thing where it's like, I think people like. It almost reminds me of like different flavors of ice cream, because you're seeing somebody do a different approach to the same joke, or they're like, I like.
Well, it's a familiarity thing.
Yes, it's a familiarity thing. You're like, oh, I know what this bit is, and they're doing their version of this bit, and it's like, for me, I get why it has the general like consumer likability, and I get why, it's just more like, I guess my. And I feel bad because I'm like, I don't want to come on and talk about social media the whole podcast. I don't want that to be everything I bring to the table. But I feel like it's like, I just feel like it's a thing where it's like, I've seen people have like amazing success with social media by just sticking to their voice and doing their own thing. And I do want to talk about probably like one of the biggest, as far as like building a social media following, inspirations to me is Ben Palmer.
Okay.
His like account is Palmer Trolls, and he basically like, he will make these like Facebook and Instagram and like different accounts pretending to be like, he's pretended to be the city of Atlanta, city of Los Angeles, like pretends to be Target and other major corporations, and just like trolls people. And like I remember I met him at an open mic in Colorado, like in the summer, and then that fall he messaged me and was like, hey, do you want to like open for me? I'm headlining 3 shows at Lincoln Lodge. They're all sold out. And I was like, what? And I looked at his page, and his stuff had just blown up, and he, like was able to use that following to kind of leverage like even more opportunities, and like has done some really like almost, I say almost like just honestly scary, like put himself in situations that are like really scary and just cool, as far as like pushing the envelope of like satire and parody, and no one else was doing that. And I think that, like it took off because it was so unique, and it was one of those things that like it like, I guess the point I'm making is it's like these individual trends, like you might have one video pop, but if you want the longevity, you want like the long-term thing, I think it's finding like what you specifically have to say and to bring to the table, and like being comfortable putting that out there even when you're not seeing the views right away and you're not seeing the following right away. Because it's like, you're going to have stuff you put up and it has 16 likes and you're like, why the fuck did I post it? But it's like, that's part of the...
Well, I think process. that's how you actually do anything meaningful. Because like you could get like popularity off of anything, but if you want to do something meaningful, you want to like build it and craft it out and like believe in it when nobody else believes in it and all those things.
And it's like, and it is so like Midwestern girl, Aquarius moon, all this. I mean, to be like, you got to stay true to your voice and your vision, but I really do think it's like yeah, there are people there's people who are overnight successes, and there are people who maybe they don't like have household name recognition, but they have a small dedicated fan base and they're able to work their entire life. And for me, I've always wanted to be somebody who like, I have a dedicated fan base that loves what I do, and I can work as long as I want to work. There'll be you know what I mean? Like that's always been... That's
success.
Yes, that's my idea of success. When also I've always said my idea of success would be, I get to tour around with my friends and we all are getting paid really well for it. Like that's what I honestly have been working towards for the past 8 years, and then like I'm gonna continue working towards in my whole career, is just the ability to like, like for me it's like I've always been somebody who's like, if I eat, I want everybody around me to eat and get, like the same opportunities and the same chances. And then it's like a thing where it's like, I can, I just like hope to like, if I'm able to make stuff happen for myself, like pull everybody, we all get pulled up together with it. And
I think it's one of those things too where it's like what you give gives back, right? So if you give that to other people, like you give people other opportunities, you give people like the things that you wish people would give you, like if you treat people that way, the universe responds in such a way back, And
I think it's just also like selfishly, my friends are really fun. It it would be really fun.
They deserve it.
To like, well, not even just that, but it's like I just envision in my mind. I look at I look at people like Bert Kreischer and Nate Bargatze who do these big tours and they bring their buddies to open for them, and it's like I mean, yeah, my buddy, it's not the same, you know what I mean? We're not this, like, I don't think I'm a similar comic to either of those comics, but what I'm saying is it's like
the same idea.
That model of like, oh, I have this huge commercial success and I can just like put my friends on, that I respect and think is really cool, and I would love to build something like that in my lifetime, as I was saying. I think it would be very different audience, very different fan base, very different style. Not that I don't respect their fan base, their audience, their style. Like, you know, that's you like hilariously funny guys who are able to, you know, get all their flowers and all their things that they've done by their own hard work. But I want to do that by my own hard work. But I do think that the audience will have a lot more pink hair, a lot more facial piercings.
Whole different demographic.
Yeah, a little bit of a different vibe. Yeah. But
you put them side by side. It's like an A to B comparison. Like
yes. But
apples to oranges.
But I still like. I respect the sauce. I respect the work ethic, and
well, that's kind of the beautiful thing too, right? Is that it is going to be a different group of people. Like it's not going to be the same people, because that's what you cultivate. Like that's what you do. That's why you can bring your friends, and it all makes sense because it's all you in the end. It's like what you've brought together. Like
yes.
You know, like in my mind, the only reason I would want like notoriety is not because I want everyone to like think I'm cool or anything like that. Like, I don't want attention. It's like I want to be able to make a difference and like make like when someone says, "Oh, I heard this song and it made me feel this way," or like, "Oh, this joke you said was really funny." Like if as a comedian, I'm sure it's like, "Oh, that joke made me think." Like, you know, like things like that. To me, those are the most important things. When you make one person have like a click in their mind because of the art that you're trying to convey to them. Like that's what's so cool. And then you just, if you can get more people to respond to that and understand it, I think that builds upon itself. And then people start to see it. Because to me, it's like, you know, it's almost maddening because I've been making music for like 13 years. So I'm thinking one day. And it's like, again, like you said, posting and understanding that it's going to get like 5 likes, even though I'm thinking this is genius. It's got 5 likes. And that's just what it is. And you have to believe in yourself and like, and it's the people you meet and like the fact that if you do meet a lot of people and you can kind of build this group of people along the way, that's really the most important thing, because again, those are like real connections that you're making, like real people that feel a real way about you. That's why I like doing a podcast, because it gives me a real thing to do with people, you know, like,
and actually like connect. And one of the things is like I feel like I was nodding really vigorously and doing this and trying to make mental note of the things I wanted to circle back to, but it was like, okay, so making an impact on other people, yes. The whole reason why I started doing comedy in the first place, because I was a musical theater actress. I went to theater school. I wanted to do Broadway. That was my dream until I was like probably 21, 22 years old. But then I got to Chicago and I hated auditioning. And that's how you get how you get jobs as an actress.
You have to do it.
You have to do it. And I hated doing it. And I also hated the fact that I was always like the only parts I was ever being called in for were the fat best friend and the mom. And I was like, okay, I'm 20 years old. I'm a size 10, 12. Like I'm just tall and bigger than the musical theater girls that are 5'1" in size. Like it's like I'm not either of these things. And I also just like I hated the way those characters were written. It was like so cliche at a point, and it just really kind of activated this like anger in me over time, like going in for the same part and reading the same line. And sometimes I would get it and sometimes I wouldn't. And I was just like, I don't think I want to do this for like, I was like, I think that this is like, I think I have something more to say than what these characters say. And then I think I basically like, because Chicago is a big, small town, I befriended some comedians. If you know a comedian for more than 2 seconds, they will invite you to their show. That's just what happens. They want you to come to their show. And I went to a comedy show. And I remember I was at the comedy show. I had a really fun time. But there was only one woman on the lineup. This was back in 2017. And all of her jokes were like, the thing is, like, I don't even remember who it was at this point. But it was like, it was like, they were told in a way that you could tell she was trying to impress the guys in the back. They weren't for the girls in the room.
Okay.
And it just really upset me. And I remember I went home, and I'm somebody who like when I get upset about something, I do something about it. And so I was like, I want to give this a shot because I feel like I want for when other people like me go to a show, I want them to be somebody that they can relate to. And I will say, like, it's been kind of a very long road for me as far as like finding my voice and sticking to it. Because I do think that like definitely those first 3 years, I wasn't very good yet. I had the vision, but I didn't have the skills to execute the vision. And so a lot of people weren't fucking with what I was doing. And I understand why, because I wasn't good yet. It takes a lot of time to develop like a really sharp joke writing ability, as well as just like a sharp point of view. But I think that it's like the thing that kept me to it, the story that I wanted to tell is like, I basically like 2 or 3 years in, I set up a tour because I wanted to do longer sets so that I could get better. I wasn't getting stage time in Chicago, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna build this for myself. I know that I have an hour. I don't know if it's good, but I want to just like go places where I can do it. And I booked a show in a movie theater turned improv showroom in Alabama. And I remember I was so scared. I was so scared because I was like, I've never been to Alabama, and it's like I grew up, you know, an hour outside of Chicago, and we have all these stereotypes of what the South is like in the North. And so it was like, those are all playing in my mind, and I'm like, this is going to be horrible. I do the show. After the show, this woman comes up to me, tears in her eyes, and she's like, thank you for coming. I just want to let you know, like, me and my 2 teenage daughters, we drove from, and she says this town, I like asked them where that is. It was like a town 2.5 hours from Huntsville, where my show was. So they were going to drive 5 hours total because one of the teenage girls like followed my TikTok. I only had like 2,000 followers on TikTok at the time. And basically she's like, my daughter like loves what you do. Like you really inspire her. And like, she really struggles in school, like fitting in, like she's queer and it's Alabama and it's even more rural than here. And just like, please never quit. Like the mom said that to me. And it like, it's something that I talk about as often as I can. Cause I really do think that like, you just never know the impact you're making on people. And I feel like it's like, I'm really grateful that I got to have somebody like actually say to me the impact that I was making on somebody.
But you usually don't know.
Right. And so I'm saying it's like, if that woman wouldn't have come up to me and said that, I would never have known that somebody from a completely different state liked me enough with only 2,000 followers that she got in a car and drove 5 hours total to see my show. So it's like, I guess the point I was making with that is it's like, if you stay true to the vision, I really think like you will hit the heartstrings of the people who are aligned with you. And like, I think that we all are our own harshest critics. And yeah, there's going to be haters. There's going to be people like sharing your video in their group chat to make fun of you or that's going to exist. But I think that you have to ignore that as much as you can because the energy that they're using to share your video to their group chat, they could be using to write a joke. So you're already better than them because you're fucking doing something. A of all, and then B of all, this person I wanted to bring up was, have you heard of Quan Mills yet?
No.
Okay, so Quan Mills is this author who's recently blown up on TikTok because he's doing these like, I'm just going to like find you the title of one right now.
Okay.
It's like basically the one I can think of off the top of my head. He's doing these like sci-fi novels. And one of them is called This Hoe Got Roaches in Her Crib. Ooh. And they're like 300, 400 page books. And he does audiobooks too, where he narrates. And it's like,
you gotta be AI involved in this somehow.
I mean,
ain't no way this boy wrote a 400 page novel. What's it called again?
This hoe got roaches in her crib. I do think, honestly, I think that he is writing them. Like, I think he just has like that level of like neurospiciness or dedication or something. But like, this man doesn't get like shame, quality control.
Yeah.
Out the window. Like some of the ideas, some of the titles that I have read of his books, I'm like,
there's a lot of these.
Yes, he has like, I think he has like at least 50. And he is, the point I'm trying to make is like, he's so like, he doesn't, like, the point I'm making is like, if he's here putting out these books without a single fuck given. Who are you to tell yourself that you can't do whatever you want to do?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because, like, this hoe got roaches in her crib. Like, I think it went viral. He sold a bunch of copies. Like, basically what I'm just trying to say is, like, there's an audience for everything. There's an audience for everything. You're only stopping yourself by not sharing the thing you want to share with the world.
I think it's, like, a lot of things, too, though, where it's, like, you also have to do it forever. So, like, if you're stopping yourself from doing it, you're not even taking, like, the first step of that. Like, you're going to do it, and then you're just going to have to do it again and again 100,000 times.
Yeah.
So, like, not doing it at all is just crazy. Like, in my mind. Like, that's why I've always done, like, that's why I have the stuff next to me right here and I record my own music, is because I would never want to have to approach someone and rely on them to record something that I wrote. Like, I would just want the opportunity to have a microphone in front of me and record it. And it's been like that forever. Like, but there's like a lot of people don't want to take steps in any direction.
No. And I think it's like, the not wanting to take steps is like, I don't, like, I understand. Like, I hope people know, like, I understand. Cause it's like, I mean, especially like those early days on TikTok, like, I can't tell you. And even like, I mean, last year I posted just a video of me walking down the street, and I put like, I captioned it like heading back to the studio after being disappointed by a man yet again. And it was just like to tease a music video I was putting out. It was like a 15-second. I had like, I made, I think like $150 in hate comments from men on the internet calling me a fat bitch, saying I don't know how to dress. Like, and I was like, oh my God, this is so annoying, because I just wanted people to watch the fucking music video. Like, and it's like, so it's like, I'm saying, like, I understand, like, even beyond the fear of sharing your art, like, some people, based on like your body type or how you look or all that, like, you're gonna get hate. Yeah. But it's like, a friend said this to me recently, and it's so crazy.
Hate no matter what.
People are gonna hate on you no matter what.
Yeah.
So it's like, at a certain point, like, radical self-acceptance, or if there are things about yourself that you don't like, you got to change it. And I know it's easier said than done, but it's like, I think my opinion is just like accepting it, because it's like, I think I've been like 20 to 30 pounds heavier than I am now. I've been 20 to 30 pounds lighter than I am now. I still get the same comments on my body. Right. Like, at both ends of the spectrum, I get called a fat bitch on the internet, because it's just like, I'm sorry, like, men that are watching this are kind of stupid. Like, they really, the only things that they can go for are, you're a fat bitch, you're an ugly bitch, unfunny bitch. At a certain point, it's like, I would just at least like them to be a little more creative.
I will say, I get a lot of hate comments just because I am like a skinny white boy that raps. Like, you'll get the Eminem one a lot. Like, I'm always trying to be something. Like, if they can't figure out why they don't like me, they'll say like, oh, you're like an Eminem wannabe, or like they'll come up with things.
You're trying to be this thing.
But like you said, it's never that original. Like, there's a kind of like a template for the insults, like the hate comments you get online. Yeah. And I've just learned, like, they're just gonna, in my mind, it's probably actually good if you're getting hate comments, because it means you're, again, making a difference. You're doing something. Like, the fact that those people are mad, that they're even getting mad, is at least like showing you something, right? Like, why are they even responding to it? Like, what makes you evoke such a reaction in these people? Like, and again, you're gonna get hate comments no matter what. So, like, you know, the more the merrier is how I look at it. I kind of get excited, like, to see how people are gonna roast me sometimes. Because sometimes they're original. I've seen some good hate comments.
Well, and it's like, I've seen, I mean, I will say, especially, it gets
tiresome. I do agree.
That I was like, the one that I got, like, I mean, as like I said, it is a video. I got like 5,000 hate comments on it.
Yeah, walking down the street.
Just me walking down the street. That one.
How dare you?
That one. I mean, honestly, like, it kind of got repetitive. It was like concrete holding on for dear life, like walking to McDonald's. You know, I was like, okay. But the one that hurt me the most, the one that I still hold on to, is somebody put "bitch, do your roots," and I was like,
ooh, personal.
Slut, I was about to do my roots. Literally, like, but by the time I was reading the comment, I had done my roots. Like, you caught me the week before I was doing my hair again, because I'm sorry, I like to let nature heal. I like to let my shit grow out a bit and heal before I re-dye it. how fucking dare you comment on my roots? That one.
Did it get likes? Did it have a lot of likes, or was it just kind of one?
Yes, it did have a lot of likes. And the thing is, the thing that made me the most upset is I had people defend me who were trans, and then I got like the transphobic people leaving them mean comments, and then I was just like, I feel like this has just become a cesspool of evil. Like this has literally just become a breeding ground for evil,
TikTok.
hateful shit. Yeah.
TikTok has a way about this. Like TikTok, I've gotten meaner comments than Instagram ever. I don't know what it is about it. I think, and the funniest part, I think it's all like 8-year-olds. I really think it's like 8-year-olds that are just like
don't know the consequences of their actions.
Yeah.
And they're just like they're behind a. I mean, yeah, I think that you're probably right too. Some of it's got to be kids. Because like
with TikTok in particular, it's like most of TikTok is kids. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and I'm like,
obviously there's adults on there, but like if you were to look at like a pie chart, it's probably mostly children.
A lot of children.
And so when you get those comments, you have to remember this could be a 7-year-old.
Yeah, and I'm like,
who just had like the moment of their life. 500 likes calling me fat.
Yeah, but they just like they became so evil.
It's evil. It's Satan energy for sure.
I mean, it makes me think of. I will say, and I have a song about this that's coming out in August, but. The first boyfriend I ever had, like my first love, we got together after he made fun of me on MySpace.com.
Ooh.
So it's one of those things where it's like, I'm like, why are people mean? They should be nice. But then it's like, I think of the fact that it's like, oh, because like literally this guy roasted me and was mean to me and got a girlfriend out of it. So it's like, and like honestly, like at that point in my life, like as much as I was self-deprecating hard on myself, like he got a hot girlfriend out of being fucking mean. So it's like, we need to, as a society, stop enabling and like celebrating meanness. I think that that's really, because I think that there's this part of the society that thinks it's like sexy and cool to be a fucking asshole, and it's not.
See, I agree, but like, it seems impossible because I think like,
yeah.
How do you stop it when it's like something that's going to get you attention? Like when people naturally want attention, that's what they're going to do. I think it's like why you see like when people do dark comedy, but they just go way too far in the wrong direction because they're trying to be like mean, they're trying to be edgy, and really they're not even trying to like be artful about it. They're just, and I think there's no real way to police that. You can't really stop people from doing these things. If you want to have the freedom of expression, you just have to hope to God people stop being so mean. Yeah. I think it's lead by example, really, right? You just have to be nice. Maybe it's just being nice.
Yeah, I think
that's what I hope.
I think if
I hope we could just be nice.
If we could all just try to be a little nicer, because I will say, okay,
possible. Maybe.
I think sometimes you're justified in being mean as fuck.
Sure.
Because like I'm mean sometimes when I need to be. I guess.
You gotta have boundaries.
And I think what I'm saying is like I don't think that we should be painting kind with a broad brush, but I do think it's about being genuine, being sincere, being comfortable being vulnerable too. I think vulnerability is something people are so afraid of, and that's why they'll go for, oh hi Margot. They'll go for meanness because they would rather not be vulnerable. I love that. I feel like I've been blessed with the cat, the attention of this sweet girl. But yeah, it's one of those things. It's like I don't know. I think I'm somebody who like I've had. I think I'm realizing I'm slightly projecting my own thing that I struggle with because it's like I've been somebody who really struggled with like being a people pleaser and setting really bad boundaries. So I think that like unkindness is something that like I really struggle to understand because I'm like I've gone so far out of my way to like the detriment of my own mental health and happiness to make other people feel comfortable and happy when it's like I could use to be a little bit more mean.
Yeah.
I think I personally I backpedal what I said. I'm gonna be. I think people who are like I think that we should all take a hard look in the mirror. Are you a mean person? Or are you a kind person? If you're a kind person, you probably need to be more mean. If you're mean, you probably need to be a little bit more kind, and then we'll all kind of end up somewhere, more.
It's like a Venn diagram.
The Venn diagram will become a circle.
End up in the middle somehow.
And then we'll all just be the circle of life, and we'll be connected because we won't be fronting anymore. Because I think sometimes people are too nice to mask their meanness, and people are too mean to mask that they're scared little baby bitches. And I think that if we kind of did, some sort of meet in the middle, we could all come together right now over me. I'm sorry.
It's the Beatles.
Yes.
What it makes me think of is I heard Giannis Papas say once, there's like mom love and dad love. And I think that's a good way to look at these things.
I love this saying. No, yes.
Because it's kind of what's happening, you know? Like the mom love is like the love that's going to love you no matter what. And you can do anything. And I'm going to accept you no matter what. And in that, you end up doing everything for everybody. That's how my mom is. My mom's like a classic mom that just wants to help everyone to a point where I'm like, why don't you like take a day for yourself, mother? You know, like she'll come visit me and she'll bring 6 children with her. I'm like, why did you do this again? You told me last time you weren't going to do this. She's like, oh, they all looked at me and they asked and I said yes. She's like that kind of mom, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like, that's mom love. Whereas like a dad love is like, it doesn't accept you no matter what. It just wants you to be better all the time. That's dad love. It's like, I believe in you and you're just not your full potential. The mom always accepts you. The dad love doesn't accept you, but it still loves you. And you know, maybe it's like, again, the balance, the Venn diagram of the mom love and the dad love, the circle of life.
And I feel like I would raise your mom love, dad love with the observation. I think that too much mom love can make a dad loving individual, like somebody who's really harsh and critical and holds everyone to high standards. Whereas, yes, I was gonna say too much dad love is what creates people who give love in a mom love way. Too much people pleasing, too much being a doormat. And I say that because it's like, I think I have a dad and I have a mom, but they both love like dads. And I think that's why I think there's no true good way to parent anyone. Like I think good parenting doesn't really exist because no matter what happens, you're always going to be resentful of how you were raised and you're going to want the other version. Like almost everybody you talk to, even if you're satisfied, there's still like things you'll nitpick and you'll be like, oh, well, this could have been better. Like there's no perfect way. Oh yeah, no. And I feel like the way that I was raised, I think I'm grateful for the way I was raised because I think I'm finally, this is like so cheesy what I'm about to say. I think I'm finally becoming the person I've always wanted to be.
Aww.
Which is very, no. I'm like, we overlay like a little heart, like after school. Ta, 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 ta. But I think I'm finally becoming
I'm imagining like a coming of age, like 90s movie.
Yeah,
that's what I'm imagining.
I'm running, like the camera is like spinning with me.
You're about to jump and it's going to be the credits at the end.
It's like, that is how it feels. And I think that, I don't think that I would have gotten here if it'd been the other way around. So I'm grateful for the dad love. I do like love that pushes to grow, but I think that it's made me harder on myself.
Yeah.
Whereas like, I think that love that says you can do whatever makes you hard on other people. Other people are the problem. Other people need to do better. Nah, you fat fucking bitch. And it's like, whoa. Let's figure out what's going on in here that's creating all this resentment and hostility.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know. It's like a thing where it's like, I think it's, I guess, yeah. It's like, I think that any parenting that makes you self-aware and able to self-reflect, I think is positive parenting. I feel really guilty for people who lack self-awareness and cannot self-reflect because how do you grow if you can't do those things? Yeah. Those people stay in the same place. And it's like, we're talking about the people who spend more time judging and talking about others than bettering themselves. I think it's from a place of they don't know how to go in. They don't know how to self-reflect. They don't know how to do those things because they were told you can do no wrong. You're amazing. You're perfect in every way. And I think that like we are all inherently amazing and perfect in our own imperfect ways. But I think even within that, part of being the best version of yourself and amazing is self-reflecting and going, what are my shortcomings? Where could I do better? I think that dad love will make you always thinking about that, always on. And it's like, honestly though, I am grateful that I am very self-aware and I know what I, come up short on and I know what I need to work on. And I feel sorry for people who don't have the same, but I do think with that, I think that I've slightly been generalizing and I think people can tell I'm kind of trying to come for straight cis men a bit in what I'm saying. And I think I do have empathy though, because I think that in spite of, a lot of the mommy issues and stuff that we're kind of alluding to, I do think that a lot of specifically straight cis men are raised in a society where they cannot show emotion and they cannot be weak or a pussy. And that sounds fucking exhausting. Like, I understand that would probably make me a little hostile too. If I felt like I couldn't really be myself without being harshly judged by everyone around me. Yeah, that would probably create some hostility for me as well. However, I really do encourage the people who hear me saying this and get offended or feel more hostility. I encourage you to think to yourself, is there anybody in my life that I can truly be myself with? And if the answer is no, make some new fucking friends. And I know it's like not easy to do that, but it's like you should have at least a handful, maybe not a handful, but like 1 to 2 people that you can really be yourself with.
Yeah.
So that you can like, I don't know, just like have mental health and stability. Because it just sounds exhausting to be that pent up all the time. Well,
and I think it's just all like, it's all so far away from like what the reality of day-to-day life is, because like that's why you just need like a couple friends, because that's like the reality of like actual life. It's just like the moments you spend with the people around you and like enjoying yourself around people, and that's how you find yourself, I think, truly, is through other people. Like you can't just do it in a vacuum, so you do need people, you know. It's like, I mean, one of the things that my therapist says that I really love, and I think is like part of why I will never regret any relationship, be it a friendship or like a romantic relationship, even if it goes awry or even if it like causes me some kind of, emotional turmoil. Relationships are a classroom. Like, relationships are how you see, like, have I grown as a person? How am I showing up? And I'm not just talking romantic relationships. Like, I think friendships, relationships with your family, it's your classroom. That's a good one.
I
like that one. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, my therapist said that, and I was
that's like, even, you can even say like experiences are a classroom. Because that's how I try to look at life, is I try to think of everything as like, what is going on here? Like, what is this supposed to mean? If it means anything, what would it be?
Yes.
You know?
And it's like I think it's also like getting curious as to like, so like, you cannot control the world, and that's where I think I feel really bad for people who are solely mom parented, because you have no control over the world around you.
Yeah.
You only have control over yourself and how you react to the stimulus around you. And so it's like, if you live in this vacuum where nothing you can do is wrong,
right?
And then you're gonna think if anything goes wrong, oh, well, the world's just out to get me. Like, everything's just not, and it's like, it's not just men who have that. I've met many, I call them dark cloud people. I've met many a dark cloud, woman, like, it is not a gendered thing to be a dark cloud person. And I used to be a dark cloud person.
Why do you say dark cloud person? Like, what do you mean? Like, they're just a dark, like when they come around, they're like a dark cloud, like it's going to rain?
I say dark cloud because it's like, I think dark cloud person, because I used to be one.
Yeah.
It is somebody who believes that the world is inherently set up not in their favor.
Okay. Yeah.
Things don't ever go my way.
Right.
This is just my life, and this is just how it goes.
Well, that's probably I think that's like the source of a lot of evil, is thinking that way. Because then like you legitimately believe the entire world is against you. And so in that, you hate the entire world and everyone within it, and you do evil things. Like, I think that's where that really comes from.
And it's like, and the thing is, like, some people will hear me say this and get really defensive about like mental. This is not depression. I have depression still.
Yeah.
I'm talking.
Depression could lead you to that place, though.
Yes,
for sure.
Depression can put you in that place for sure. But I'm just saying, like, it is a belief system in the way that Christianity or Judaism or any other religion is a belief system. The belief that nothing works out for me.
Right, yeah.
Will ruin your life and the life of anybody who has to breathe your air and interact with you.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's how...
It's like a... Literally, like, it's life draining have that belief.
Exactly. My dad, he passed away, like, just this past year or so, but, like, his last... how I remember him the last like 10 years of his life is like someone who I would describe it like his life had ended already and he was kind of already like done with doing it, you know, which is just like this. It's like you said, like it drains you. It's like a sad thing. You can see like there's not like a version of this person that's like, oh, let's do something different and move forward and change things. And it's like life's already kind of over. Like this whole universe is against me. I've already figured it out. Like, there's no reason to even try. Why would I try to do anything to make anything change? And it's just crazy because I know I'm so familiar with it. I've seen it up close. Like I know what that mentality is. It makes me not want to be that way because I never would want to fall into such a pattern where life just becomes this thing that I hate, and I know how it works. I know how you fall into it. I've seen it. Yeah. You just do nothing. That's the crazy part is you just do nothing at all, and then you're there. It actually takes no effort to get to the worst place.
And the thing is, it's like, and the thing is, it's the thing that's so sad is it's like from the outside looking in, it appears to be doing nothing at all, but really, it's like, it's what's going on in your mind.
Right. Yeah.
It's what's happening in your mind.
Cycle.
It's a vicious cycle, and I mean. Now I'm being a dork and I'm gonna quote Hadestown the musical, but it's like, and if you don't know Hadestown the musical, it's a musical based on the Greek myth of Orpheus and Eurydice, and basically like it's a tragedy, it's a Greek tragedy where he loses the love of his life because she like goes down to hell in Hadestown, and he's like determined to get her back. So he literally goes and asks Hades, like, can I just take her home with me? And he's like, yeah, you can, but you have to walk in front of her and you can't look back. If you look back, then she comes back to hell. And basically,
is this the story where he crosses the river Styx or the...
Yes. And then at the final moment, he looks back and loses her forever.
How do they get him to look back? What is it that happens?
No, it's just his own self-doubt.
Oh,
his own belief that she might, the folly of man. But the point I'm making is, it's like in Hadestown, there's literally like he says like, you know, like the worst monster that you'll ever meet is not a physical being. It's right up here. It's your own self-doubt.
Interesting.
And so it's like I think it's something where it's like I know that there is such a thing as toxic positivity, and I don't support that. I think that when you're feeling low, you need to feel that. When you're feeling anxiety, you need to feel that. But I'm telling you, if you're getting into an every single day pattern of harboring the belief, because like I said, it becomes like a religion. What you believe and what you think is like a religion to you. If you're harboring that belief that nothing works out for me, that will be what it is. Because that's what you believe. That's what you think every day. And so those things start to show up in front of you because it's what you're thinking about every single moment every day. It's you manifest it. You almost, and it's like, I don't take it as literally as like, I get really, like, it's basically like, I think that the point I'm trying to make is like, I think two things can be true. Like the world can be horrible and cruel and life sucking, but the world can also be beautiful and vibrant and community driven. And it's like the more that you can, when you're feeling in that place, when you're feeling like you have nothing against you, you need to lean on your community to get out of that place. Because it's like, it's almost like you will sink further and further into that way of thinking until you become a dark cloud person.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and that's why I think, again, like, that's why those things are so meaningful. Like, when people say, like, this meant something to me. Like, when I make something and someone says, this meant something to me, that, like, reminds me of my purpose in life.
Yes.
Like, the whole reason I'm doing anything at all. Yeah. Because, like, it is easy to, like, fall into the trap of, like, thinking that you're not at the place you should be or whatever it is that makes you think it's not ideal. But again, like that one difference you make is like the difference, you know, and it happens. Yeah, I think again, like how you manifest, like you just said, like how you would manifest those bad things happening. It goes the other direction too. Like I think by taking steps in the other direction, you manifest good things happening. Yes. And it's really just flipping that cycle and finding a way to do that, which is, it seems impossible if you're truly in like a depressed state. Because when you're depressed, you really do think this is it. That life sucks. There's nothing. There's no way. Like, I understand that. You really think that. Like, you believe it religiously religiously.
Yeah. It's one of those things that's
But
like,
you have to flip it. Like if you don't,
Yeah.
you will die. It's
No,
like that
literally,
bad.
it's-
You will kill your soul.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
And it's-
depression is like the worst thing because it makes you not want to do anything at all. Like for me, I'm like slipping into like a small form of it because I haven't been going to the gym and I keep making reasons in my brain and then it's too late every day and I don't have time and today it rained. I want to
Yeah.
ride my electric skateboard, but I can't. And it's like one of those cycles in my brain where I know if I keep doing this for like 2 or 3 weeks, I'm going to like get like depressed about it. My haircut, dude, my haircut right now, it's so bad. I like,
oh, no. I was going to say, I feel like it's not as bad as you think, but it's one of those ones that's like, you got the hat on. I got to.
yeah. Well, I got standards. So like when I go to work, I have to take my hat off and then I have to like find some way to get this to work. Cause like I could probably just have it down straight, but I just don't like the way it represents me.
You
Like
want it to grow out, so it's how you like it.
I just cut it short. I wait too long. This happens to me every time. It's like a cycle of my life. My hair gets too long. It gets too long. It gets too long. And then I finally cut it all and it's super short again. And then this is the other thing. I haven't gotten a haircut at like a barbershop since I was like 8 years old. It's always like a family member that cuts my hair. And now I
Yeah.
live in Chicago, so I can't just like drive to my mom's house and have her cut my hair.
So it's hard for them. It's hard to get it right. It's hard to articulate what you want.
It's not even a hard haircut. It's almost like I have this ritual where I just have never went and paid to get a haircut. So it almost, I think it makes me nervous, or I have this thing in my brain that's stopping me from. There's literally a barbershop right there around the corner.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I should just do it. Should vlog it for the fans.
I just wonder, can you, like, do you have a photo of how it is when you like it? Because I
Yes.
feel like if you,
That's what I was thinking. I'll just show them the picture.
Yeah, show them the picture and say, do this. And I think, they'll do that. I think it's just a thing where it's like,
I'm just making up a reason. But
Change is
again,
scary.
my hair
Yeah.
is making me, it makes me depressed. I look in the mirror and I'm like, that's not you.
yeah, no, and I feel that. I mean, it's because it's like, for me, like, yeah, when my hair is not done how I like it, I feel the same way. And I guess I do want to circle back because it's like, I feel like I want to make sure that
Let's talk more about my hair real quick.
Yeah, I was like, but I just like, I want to, like, when I say dark cloud people, I feel like I really just want to make sure that, because I know people with depression and mental illness would maybe listen to this and think that I'm being unrealistic and unfair. And I think that basically just like where I'm coming from is like, I have depression. I have anxiety. I've been in that place that I'm talking about where it's like you feel like you don't have a point and a reason for living. And what I'm trying to say is that at a certain point, you have to decide to get help. And that's more what I'm alluding to. Because help can be getting on medicine. Help can be reaching out to somebody in your community and saying, hey, can you talk right now? Like, I need to connect with somebody. Health can be, like you said, you like to go to the gym and like, like there's different, there's different ways to battle the religion of hating your life and thinking that everybody's out to get you. But it's like, I think that it's something that you have to do vigilantly, because there is so much evidence that the world's a horrible place, but there's also so much evidence that the world's a great place. And so it's like finding that balance of, as much as you can, seeking out community and people and individuals to like help walk you home, so to speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have people like that in your world?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. And I feel like it's like I have been notorious my whole adult life for pushing everything down until it becomes like when they bury toxic waste in a random town in New Jersey and then it starts to seep into the water supply.
Right.
That's basically how I've always dealt with my emotions. And so it's like I've had to do a lot of work on being present with my emotions, first of all, and second of all, just like not getting to that place of such a dark depression. And I think that like in the past, the thing that helped me not get to that place was self-medicating with drugs and alcohol. And so I think when I realized that pattern and that it was like potentially going to, I basically like, I had a time that like I did a little bit too much, cocaine, and I tell a story about this in my stand-up at like sometimes depending on the context in the show, but like my heart was beating so fast I thought I was gonna die. And for me, it's like it took me getting to that moment to decide I was gonna stop thinking the world was out to get me. And so it's like I don't want anybody to have that moment, you know?
Yeah.
I don't want anybody watching this to like almost die or literally die over that thinking. And I feel like I ADHD lost the plot a bit because I'm forgetting what the actual question before that was. But yes, I have those people because I think when it got that bad, I had to come to terms with like, oh, I haven't been telling anybody what's going on with me. And that's just not going to work. You know what I mean? Like that's so I had to be very honest with, I think I went to like my sister and a couple of my close friends and I was like, hey, I just want you to know, like, I am going to be taking a step back from going out and doing this because this happened. And like, this was like a near-death experience for me, so I need to change my life. And it's also making me acknowledge the fact that I am mentally not doing well. Yeah. And I am feeling in this really deep darkness. And then, yeah, I feel like it was like slowly, like bit by bit. Like, and really that was like the spring of 2023. And here I am in 2025. I think it really took me like 2 years to like kind of like turn the wheel on that. Yeah.
Damn. And you think talking to them helped? You're saying like that?
Yeah.
If you hadn't talked to them, you think it'd be different? Like if you hadn't reached out to people?
Yeah. Because I mean, like a lot of my close friends didn't know I was using cocaine. Like it was like I was keeping that a secret.
I see.
Yeah. And so it's like.
So now like you have to be held accountable in a way.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because the thing is like, I mean, I would say it's like when it comes to being a dark cloud person or having having a tendency towards dark cloudness, I think that the thing that's the most scary about having that dark cloud within you is there are a lot of people who are the most sunshiny, happy, outgoing people in the world. You would never know they're dark cloud people, but they are.
Yeah.
And so it's like, and I think that really people who, it comes back to like the parenting styles we talked about. People who are people pleasers will keep that stuff close to their chests. Whereas people who are not people pleasers will maybe put that more out on the world and let you know I'm depressed and everything's horrible.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, yeah, I think that we all have that like as a possibility within us. It's just like finding the light and finding the levity and the joy. And I think community is a huge part of that.
Yeah.
I think absolutely is. Like, this is a quote. Beckett Kenny told this. Blah, blah, blah. Beckett Kenny told me this was from a TED Talk on our podcast several years ago. We no longer do the podcast, but it was this opposite of addiction isn't actually sobriety, it's connection. So it's like what a lot of people seek in addiction to different substances or different hobbies, activities, whatever, is the ability to connect with another human on a deeply emotional or spiritual level.
Yeah.
Which is like kind of funny because I do think like both of us have discussed in our art form, part of the addiction of it is like the desire to make something that matters to people, that impacts people in a serious way.
The only contention I'd have with that statement is that I wouldn't even call it an opposite. Like I'd say the observation is correct, but it's almost like opposite's the wrong word. Like it's more like they rhyme, like they're the same exact thing. Like in a way, the connection is the addiction, and the addiction is the connection. Like they're the same.
Yeah, it's a synonym rather than opposite.
Synonym. Yeah. Synonym.
A synonym. Yeah, I love anemone. I don't think I've ever said that word out loud until this moment. But
I think you still said it wrong. You said anemone. I think it's anemone.
Anemone.
We're talking Finding Nemo, right? It's an enemy for sure. Because I was thinking like if there's an anemone, it's like if there's an anemone, it's an enemy, like double N, an enemy. Or if I could like, oh, check it, Nemo shooting on the ops ahead of me, pop, 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 I'm coming out on an enemy.
Yeah, that's. I still don't think I know it. An enemy.
On an enemy. Because my bar was, I'm coming on the enemies. So on an enemy. Think about it like on an enemy.
On an enemy.
There you go.
That turned off. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, that's good. I just hit him with the Finding Nemo bars. So my bar is so hard, the TV turned off.
The TV said, no. We're done. No, I feel like now, it's like, I feel like I have this thing where I every time I'm on a podcast, I will say something that I retroactively will feel bad that I've said the wrong thing. And I feel like that's how I feel about this dark cloud thing. But it is a real thing of like, there is, I do stand by what I said of like, I think it can become like a religion and you can get sucked into it. And so it's like,
well, I think you mean
that's why we have
what
mental
you're
health
saying
resources
is a
and,
positive sense.
Yes.
You mean in a positive sense where it's like, if you're that kind of person, if you're someone who has been sucked into that state, there is hope for you yet, young
Yes.
Padawan. Like,
I
mean,
love
that's...
that there is hope for you yet. But I do think I sometimes,
because I mean, the thing, the caveat too, is that we've both been in this place.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
I think like 2020 broke a lot of people. Like for me personally, I'm telling you, do not lock me inside for too long. It's bad.
Yeah,
Don't tell me not to leave the house for too long because I will turn into some type of rat or animal creature. I can't even tell you what I became. I think I repressed these memories and they're not even there anymore.
Oh yeah, no, and I feel like I don't blame you because I think the pandemic was equally difficult for me. It's also interesting to think about the fact that it's like I was still married at the time, and I feel like the beginning of the end of my marriage was definitely that pandemic year because it's like I famously got married very young. I was like 22, 23-ish when we first got together. And we had never lived together before. I married a British man. So he moves in, and then like probably like I think 2 years into us being married and living together, COVID-19 hits. And so we're like in the house. And I mean, yeah, it was just like, I think it was just difficult to navigate just as an individual person, let alone like trying to, be in a couple with somebody. And I just miss performing so much. I think that was the biggest thing is like, I hated the pandemic, but I'm also grateful for the pandemic in terms of like, I remember as it was happening, I was like, I swear whenever I'm allowed to perform shows again, I am going to step on their necks. Like, I'm not going to give a shit anymore. Cause I used to be like the first 2 years I did comedy, 2-3 years. I'm trying to like think. Yeah, it was like the first 2 years I was doing comedy. I was so focused on impressing the guys in the back. And then it was like, when I suddenly couldn't do shows anymore, I was like, oh no, when I come back, like I'm doing what I set out to do. Like, cause I think I fell into the very trap I was talking about of like the girl I saw in the first showcase trying to impress those guys. I think I fell into that same trap because it's like, you want people to like you, you want to have peers, but it's like, I think what the pandemic made me realize was like, I wanted to build an audience of people who really fuck with what I do. And that doesn't involve, like, yeah, it would be awesome to be a comedian or an artist that's respected by other comedians or artists. But it's like, first and foremost, like, I want to have an audience.
Well, I think it's the same thing like we were talking about with social media and like doing trends and trying to do the thing that everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
Like you're going to get those kinds of people and you're not going to get an audience that's like there for you. You're going to, and that's why it doesn't really work in my mind, like long term. It's not an authentic thing that you're creating. And I think just long term, everything what I'm hoping is that's how it comes around. Like this whole trend with social media trends and things coming and going like that. I don't think that's the way it stays. I think it's like even with comedy, there's like gonna be big like comedy greats that'll come back around again because if you think about it, you kind of haven't really had like gigantic. I guess well, I'm wrong. You have like giant names in comedy now, but maybe that's what it is like comedy's having that resurgence because people want that. They're tired of like this weird version of comedy. I mean, because I will say though that what you do, it's interesting to hear you say that you don't do like. You're just now trying to like figure out social media. It's like trial and error because I feel like all those songs that you do on your special, those are like those are over the course of so many years.
Yes.
See, like I feel like those are all like perfect for social. It's actually funny.
Yeah.
Like it's literally like you made like 1 minute, 2 minute songs that you could put on like a reel or like a TikTok.
Yeah.
Like it's funny that wasn't even the original idea.
Well,
because that's what
really?
They're perfect for that format. They're like literally. I'm amazed you didn't adapt each one already into like 10 different videos for each one because it's just there's so much potential there.
No, the thing is like honestly, it's something where it's like I've thought about it and I'm like, oh, I should absolutely like keep like using these audios, because it's like, I mean, especially like musical artists, they'll use the same audio over and over again, but like different outfits, different settings. It's like, oh, I should do this with these audios, because it's like, I honestly, with the 1 to 2 minute songs, I wrote them that length because that's as long as you can do a song on a stand-up show before people are like, what the fuck is this, you know? But it's funny because it is so set up for social media.
Yeah.
And I honestly hadn't done that with that in mind, but it's like, yeah, I'm somebody who like, and again, I think it's part of the ADHD. It's like my songwriting style, I think it changes so much based on like what I'm trying to say or convey with the song. Like each song is very unique, but then it's like I also have like certain pitfalls as far as like patterns to how I write. Like I would say, so I have a concept album coming out in August, and it's like 5 songs, and each one represents one of the 5 stages of grief as it pertains to my divorce. And I think 4 out of 5 of those songs are tagline songs, in that it's like the same line, but like slightly different thing. Like a tagline song.
You see the structure in the
structure.
song.
Yeah. I see the structure, and I'm like, oh, I structured all these the same. Like, what the hell? But it's like stylistically they're different. Like I have, one of them's like a poppy song, and the other one's like a rap song, and then the other one's another poppy song. But like, I actually think 3 out of 5 of the songs are tagline songs.
Yeah.
Like yesterday we broke up and now we're back together is one of the taglines. The other tagline.
What do you mean by tagline song?
So yeah, so a
like
tagline song.
It all sprouts out from the one tagline, or it's all like a setup for one line?
Yeah, so basically like a really popular tagline song is "I Just Can't Wait to Be King" from The Lion King.
Okay.
And so basically a tagline is something where there's not a literal chorus. It's just like there's a line that repeats.
Gotcha.
And like maybe what happens after the line might change, but the line repeats. So like for yesterday we broke up but now we're back together, I have like the chorus is yesterday we broke up but now we're back together. So if you're really my friend, you will not say shit. Yesterday we broke up but now we're back together. Please respect our feelings by not making me feel bad about it. But then it's like later in the song, when it happens again, those lines after change every time.
Right.
And then I have like the anger song is a rap song where it's like the tagline is fuck love, da 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 da. Like it's like the first one's fuck love, I'm done being nice. And then it's like fuck love, I'll just get a stack. And it's like we just keep coming back to that same line. And then it's like the closing song, the acceptance song, is also a fucking tagline because it's I have to fix humanity. And then we add some other stuff. I have to fix humanity. And it's one of those things that's like I'm looking at my songs structurally and I'm like self-critiquing like, oh fuck, I have 3 tagline songs. But then I was like, actually, I think since it's like one piece, like body of work, it might be okay that the first, the middle, and the last have that same kind of feel,
Yeah, it probably doesn't matter. And if anything, yeah, it might be good. Like if for like a connectivity thing, really it's like one of those things where only if it really bothers you, you should change it, right?
Yeah.
Like only if you actually think it's, because I mean like
repetitive or yeah,
it's your vision. And like the thing is,
I think the song sounds so different that I'm like, I think I'm just being
fine. I know I'm
like,
hard on myself. Like the thing is like so like I just did roast battle the second time, and I'm trying to think of a new way to do this, because what I'm doing is I'm doing like the first half, it's all written, I'm just roasting everybody, and then the second half I'm freestyling a bunch of stuff that people said, and like it's good that I'm doing it over and over because I can figure it out kind of.
Yes.
Because the second time around, for one, I think I did the freestyle a little too long. Like I think like the freestyle section, like 1.5 minutes is kind of perfect because you only have so much content to work with. Like it's only the stuff that they've said in the roast battles is what I should be saying. I shouldn't be going too much further than that because it's like the audience doesn't really want me there, so I have to like win them over truly. Like they don't want music right now. You have to win them.
And that's like, I mean, honestly, I feel like any audience you have to win, but especially that audience.
Oh my god, that's
like,
kind of why I like it. It's like such
happening?
A stupid challenge.
You're like, oh, okay, because I imagine as soon as you start, they're like,
they don't. They
their
definitely
face is probably like,
don't want it.
I just think
they're like again. They're letting him do this again.
I love that again. Once more, no, and I feel like it's like.
But well, what I was gonna say was, what I'm trying to figure out is how to set up, like, because the format is a lot of it's like visible jokes, like this person looks like this person looks like this. So like one thing I caught myself doing a lot is I would say yo, we got so-and-so here. Yo, we got so-and-so here. Yo, we got so-and-so. Because, like, they listed a bunch of people. So it's like, yo, we got Betty Crocker here. Yo, we got Mr. Clean here. And that's easy because if I'm rapping, it's like, you know, yo, check it. I'm chilling. And this the best. We rock. I be spitting these rhymes. We chill with Betty Crocker. Come on, yo, you get me proper. Spitting clean, chilling here with Mr. Clean. Head so clear, you can see like it's history and just stupid.
Yeah, I just like
bars.
stupid fucking
But
whatever based on yeah.
That actually wasn't bad. Because what I was trying to say was I don't want to just say like we got so and so here. I'd rather justify it. And I was thinking about it afterwards. Like it's simpler if I just call back the thing. I don't even have to say anything else. Like I could, because one thing was Trans-Napoleon Dynamite. Someone called someone Trans-Napoleon. That was how I closed the whole thing out. But I haven't even watched it back because they're going to upload it on YouTube. But I'm almost positive what I said was, we got Trans-Napoleon. Last thing I'ma say though, we got Trans-Napoleon Dynamite here. Vote for Pedro. And I could have just said, last thing I'ma say though, Trans-Napoleon Dynamite. Vote for Pedro. That would have been the bar. But I put in.
You added these extra. Yeah.
All that to say, it's like I'm thinking like structure. I'm like, other people are not gonna be thinking anything I just said. They are just literally thinking, oh, that was cool. Yeah. I'm in like my head, like thinking like cerebral about. Like it's so stupid.
Really, what you're saying is like the whole story you just told me is like, yeah, you added a few transition words and you were like, oh, I didn't need that, and it's like, yes,
it doesn't matter.
I relate to that.
I know it doesn't matter
to you. It does not matter, but it does. It's like, it's one of the things that's like, yeah, it doesn't matter, but it does to me.
And like that's at least why I say I'm glad they're letting me do it again and again, because I can fix it and I could tweak it. But
you
like,
can try different things.
Yeah, because like, I am the type of person that's going to criticize anything I do. I'm just going to do that. I know what it is. I think that's good. I think that's. And what I was going to say with the mom and dad love thing earlier is I don't know how I end up like this because my parents didn't really have like a very particular style. I think they just neglected me just enough is what I would say. Like they didn't give me...
Like, crap, if I do something really, really well, then they'll notice me.
And then now I've just been fighting for attention forever from everyone.
Are you an only child or a middle child?
I'm like one of the last two. It was me and then my sister. And like... I think that my mom just had so many kids. Like she just at that point she's like, oh my god,
yeah,
like,
I can't keep up with all y'all. Yeah,
she also had a lot of life going on. Shout out to my mom. She had things going on in her life. So
I feel like because I definitely had like dad parents, like people who pushed me to be better. But it's like I think I also had the experience that you had of like, oh, if I do really well or if I'm really good. Like be it in school or in the play or, you know, like at this thing, they'll notice that.
My parents never even really reacted. And there's this funny thing. Up there, I guess I was coming home Prince my junior year. They voted for me. And it's so funny because I did nothing. I did not think I was popular. I had like 2 friends. But I've always like rapped and done all this. So I think it's just that. But anyway... I had my girlfriend go with me to the like my girlfriend at the time was the person who I walked with on the stage during like the ceremony where they have all the princes and all that. And my mom found out afterwards because I can't remember how she found out. And she was mad at me because she was like, oh, I can't believe, because conventionally you're supposed to have your parents walk with you when you do that thing for like the celebration, the coming home prince, the coming home king, whatever. They all have their parents, like their mom or their dad, and the audience cheers. But in my mind, I was like, I didn't even think of inviting my mom because I was thinking like, she's not going to care. Like my mom she doesn't seem like the type of person that would care about this kind of thing. And then she was disappointed after, and it made me like, I've thought about that to this day. Like, oh, I guess like she just probably didn't realize how to tell me she would care.
And then it's like, and then it's also like, did you, like, it's almost like what experience did you have? That led to you being like
thinking that.
Oh, my mom doesn't care.
I didn't even think of it at all. And when she was mad after, I'm like, oh, my bad. Like,
and it was probably just like, honestly, it's like, I think that kids will like see in their environment and they'll like overcorrect sometimes. Like, it's almost like, oh, she's really overwhelmed. So I'm just going to fade to the back to make it easier for her. And then it's crazy how stuff like that happens. Cause it's like, you don't even realize how the belief's formed, but then it's just suddenly like the belief is formed.
I think about it too, like, as the older you get, the more and more you understand your parents in that sense. So like, oh, I'm just becoming an adult. Like they just became an adult at one point, And all those flaws that they had their whole lives, they just carried those into adulthood. Because when you're a kid, you think like your parents just are like they understand things.
Yeah,
like,
they understand things. They're grown ups. They know everything. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, I mean, like my anxious attachment. The thing is, it's like I'm the worst one, which is like anxious avoidant, where it's like I do both of the bad things. But like my dad, like yesterday, for example, I had sent him a few texts just like, hey, this thing's going on in my life. What would you do? And then he sent a response. And I think I set my phone down to go use the bathroom. And then I hear my phone ringing and I'm like, what? And I go back in and I'm like, hey, 5 texts from him. And he's like, well, I didn't realize that you just like set your phone down. Like I thought maybe I distracted you and you like got in a car accident. I'm like, no, I set my phone down to take a shit, Dad. Like I'm fine. And it's one of the things that's like, just like, the fact that we were like having a little bit of a conversation and I set my phone down for like 5 seconds and he like crashes out and thinks I'm dead. I'm like, oh, this is why if I have a crush on somebody and they don't text me back within 24 hours, I'm losing my fucking mind. And it's like, it's one of those things that's like, I couldn't pinpoint where that came from me until I saw it happen with my dad yesterday. I was like, oh my God, my dad does this. Like my dad is the one who's like, text me when you get home. Like, I need it. It's like, bro, like now I'm fucking weird because it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, shout out Freud, right?
Shout out Dad, love you. I love my mom too. I love them both, but
Is it Freud? Am I getting that right? Is Freud the one with the mom and dad thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Homeboy was onto something, I really feel like. Because, like, the more and more you talk to people, I think, like, it's not so much mom and dad and more, like, childhood and just, like, the way your brain develops in general. It's just mom and dad happen to be there for a lot of that.
Yeah.
Mom and dad do happen to drill a bunch of things in there.
Yeah.
And you can't really see it till you're, like, older and you find a way to see it. Like, you do, like, psychedelic drugs or something, or you go to a therapist.
Yeah.
Like, God knows how you figure it out.
Whatever you feel. Yeah. And the thing is, like, I guess the last thing I would say on this topic is it's just the fact that it's like, there's this one psychology book, I forgot what it's titled, but it was written in like the 60s or 70s. I read it. And it's one of my favorite ones to reflect back on because it just like really logically explains the idea that like most of your fundamental beliefs about the world are formed between when you're 1 and when you're 5 years old.
That's so crazy.
And it's like so influenced by your environment. So like you said, like your parents or the adults around you between 1 and 5, like will say something and you internalize that as fact. And so it's like once you come of age or come into an adulthood, it's kind of your personal responsibility to look back at and that's kind of like with the dark cloud thing I was talking about. Like you have to kind of look at some of these fundamental beliefs you formed, figure out where they came from, whether or not they're right or true. And then the ones that are not right and true, you have to let go of. And it's not something that's easy, but it's something that like you simply must do for your own, like just to be your own person in this life.
One time I heard like a real good piece of advice where it's like as an exercise to write what you think your life would be like in 5 or 10 years. Like pick one of those two. Probably 5 years would be good enough. If you, no, probably 10 years would be better. And it's like if you kept having the worst possible characteristics of yourself, like if you kept letting those come through, how could your life get worse in the next 10 years?
I'm like, I hate to think about that. But no, it's effective. It's definitely effective for growth and change.
Because it gives you the exact thing not to do. Like to what you could become if you follow those patterns and you become that person. And like, truly, I think that's one of the most, because for everybody it's different. That's why it's so crazy. It's like everybody's got their own version of slipping
worst
into.
Worst case scenario,
Yeah.
One, it's like, I do feel like the universe or God or whatever you believe, I think will introduce me to or put on my path people who are the literal embodiment of like the worst version of me to remind me like eyes on the prize. Like I feel like I'll interact with those people and I will get so worked up and I'm like, oh, it's a mirror.
Right.
It's literally showing me like, this is what you could become if you don't eyes on the prize. Eyes on the prize, eyes on the prize, eyes on the prize. And I'm like, okay, got it. And it's like, I don't think that there's a perfect version of any of us. Nobody's perfect, but it's like, how can you look at your best qualities and your worst qualities and use both of them to your advantage? Yeah. You know? Because it's like, it's almost like you're like, we're literally artists, but it's like you have like your toolkit, like let's say your strong suit is time management. Couldn't be me, but let's say that's you. In a situation,
Couldn't be me either.
in a situation that requires flexibility and open-mindedness, that might be a tool for you to kind of just be like, okay, like I have this in case, we have a strong structured meeting later, but maybe at like a full moon jam session, I'll put that one away and try to like, let me learn from my flexible, no agenda pals in this moment.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, I think that it's kind of similar to like we talked about like dad parenting and mom parenting. It's like the balance of things. There's two sides to everything. There's benefits to being, flexible and relaxed about things. There's benefits to being rigid and having structure. And it's knowing the time and place for those qualities.
Right. Yes. The yin and yang, the Venn diagram.
Exactly. The Venn diagram. Because the thing is like, I mean, I really do think it's like all of us as individuals like need both extremes. And it's like, we're also as individuals going to be more predisposed to one extreme over the other. But it's like, I think that like, kind of like we talked about like life being a classroom and like experiences being a classroom as an opportunity to like find the balance between like the dark and the light, the masculine and the feminine.
When your ego, I would say you could even look at your ego that way, where like how much of your ego are you going to let through in a certain moment, and how much of it sits in the back. And because the thing is, if you're the person who always leaves your ego like completely away, you become nothing. You're just nothing at all.
It's like a amorphous.
Yeah, you could be anything, which is almost worse. But if you have like an ego to a point and you're certain in what you are, like I think in comedy that's an interesting place to observe that, right? Where it's like the people who become someone are always the people who are certain of what they are, and they pave this personality, and that personality is unique almost every time. Like it's someone who's at least like bringing something different, because otherwise why would they even be getting attention,
Yeah,
I think in music you can get away with not being original a little more than comedy. Like comedy, it's a tough crowd out there.
Yeah, and I think it's like what you're describing. It makes me think of like one of my favorite like early comedy books that I got. It's a book called like How to Kill It Comedy, and I think basically like I had a relative give it to me when I started doing comedy, and we're talking ego. I remember getting handed a book on how to do comedy, being a little irked because I was like, I fucking know how to do comedy. Why would you give me a fucking comedy book? But it's like I still cracked it because like I try to be humble as much as I can, and like, okay, maybe there's something for me to learn in here, and it's the thought that counts. Like they know I care about this. But one of the big things that they talked about in the book was that the difference between a comedic writer and a comedian is that a comedic writer, they write some good jokes, but they're jokes that anybody could say at any point in time. Whereas like a comedian, you might not remember a specific joke, but you can close your eyes and you can feel their vibe. It's like a character.
Wow. This book behind me here says like something real similar. It's Mastering Stand-Up. And like right in the very beginning, it says something about like a good joke. So if someone asks you to say a joke, you can't just say a joke. So like if you're a comedian and someone says, oh, you're a comedian, tell me a joke, your answer should be no, is what it's saying, because those are the types of jokes that lack identity. Those are the exact types of jokes that anybody could write. Like you're saying, like a comedy writer. Those are like, and that's the type of joke they could then take and then tell to somebody else. Like it's a one-liner type of joke. That's what they're expecting, which is not at all what a comedian should be. Like you just said, a comedian is the energy you're bringing.
Yes, it's energy, it's the personality. And I think that like both things are valid, but it's just getting clear on your vision and what you want. Like for me, I want to be a comedian. And I think that like the book, if anything, like validated me in that I was like, oh, I have my vision. I know I want to have this very clear voice and point of view. And it's just fostering that and like, and nurturing that and building that up, because I want it to be this. And I think that I'm definitely working towards this. And it's definitely, getting closer to like, if you know my stuff but even if you don't know my stuff, I think if you close your eyes, Jamie's trying, like I have an identity to what I'm doing. And that's definitely something that I have worked on and like wanted to.
Do you do it consciously? Foster. Like, do you do that or do you think that just happens kind of naturally?
I think it happened naturally. And then now there is some consciousness to it. Like, it's like, if I'm out at the thrift and I see, like a disco ball suit. I'm like, oh,
that's on brand.
This is on brand. Yeah. So it's like, I think it was subconscious.
I do that sometimes. I'll be like, oh, this is perfect for the podcast.
Yeah, this is perfect for like, it's like,
and the podcast is my bedroom.
Yeah. It's like this, but it's like, yeah, I think it started subconscious, and then it became more conscious.
Yeah.
I'm just taking a quick check at the time, just because I may need to take off in a bit to get.
Oh yeah, you said. Oh, so you have to be there at 4:30.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, so we can like wrap up real quick because we're gonna take a couple selfies. So we gotta make sure to take our selfies.
Yes.
Look out for the selfies, folks.
Yeah.
For real though, that's like I didn't do that when I first started, because I did episode 0 through 88 before I moved here. But like even when I've been here, I forgot like, oh, I should be taking pictures with everybody. Like it's actually fun. It's a fun thing. Because like. I do the same thing twice, where it's like you're behind me, and we're just taking this picture. But then I always try to come up with something good for the third picture.
Yeah, something for the specific guest.
So
I love that.
You can get the gears turning right now.
I'm trying to think
like look around this room, see if you see anything good, because it's wherever I can set my phone up. Like there's an angle I do a lot where I'll put the phone on the floor and we're both looking down at the phone.
Oh, I love that.
I call that when the superhero pose.
Oh, I love the superhero pose.
People always say like it looks like a '90s album, because it's like the Beastie Boys.
Like, hey, you're like looking in there.
It's very gangsta.
Yes,
very gangsta pose. I'm trying to think of like other cool poses. I've ran through so many poses now that it's actually like I've used the cat, I've used the dog. I've used books. So you're gonna have to be real original if you're gonna want to come up with something new. Donovan Strong O'Donnell, he picked up this mirror here, and we took a picture in the mirror. That was new. No one's ever done that before.
I'm trying to think of. I have my idea.
Ooh.
Roughly. Has anybody done anything with these flowers yet? I'm guessing probably yes.
No one's used the flowers.
Okay.
Look at that. Look at that. Something new every day.
You're like every time you're like somebody. There's so many things in this space. It's almost like a vibe check of like who picks what or who goes for what.
You're right. Like if someone hops on the bike, they must be into bikes or something.
Yeah.
If somebody goes over and picks up a book, they must be into books. If somebody picks up, like, there's that ducky over there. The ducky's off camera, but there is someone threw that ducky at me from their car once while I was walking my dog. I think it was an act of kindness, actually.
Here. I want you to have this.
It will think they're like, cute dog. Throw it at me.
Oh my! You're like, thank you.
Baseball.
Now I just have this duck and a dent in my head.
It was,
Ow.
for the record, it was alarming because like when they threw it, it was like traffic and Oscar's Oscar. So he like as they threw it, I'm looking at what they threw and I see it's a ducky, and then I look up and Oscar's running into traffic in front of a car.
Oh no!
He almost got ran over, and so every time I look at that ducky, I think of that moment Oscar ran in front of that car, and I think, don't get distracted. Don't get distracted.
It is a thing of like focus. Which
as someone with ADD, I'm sure you understand.
Yeah.
There was a lot of moving parts in that situation.
Yes. I feel like we're coming back full circle, because I feel like at the very beginning of this, we talked about the idea of focus.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was almost a sign. It was like a universe, like a message from the universe of like focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you just saw in this podcast was amazing. It was two people who can't focusing for an hour and a half. Well, you just saw a miracle.
And I feel like we covered a lot of really good stuff. I'm trying to think of, is there anything else you want to ask me before we go?
At the very end, this is what we always do. One, you got to give them the social medias. They spent all this time with you. Now they got to know where to find you. If you got anything special for them to go see, this is where you plug it. This is where you let them know where to go. And also, second, the most important part of the entire show, at the very end, is the message for the children. The people listening, they need a piece of knowledge.
Children.
They need to learn something. Yeah, there's probably, like we said, there's 8-year-olds on TikTok. There's people watching this podcast who probably just learned how to speak English.
Yes, even their inner child might. Even the elderly people with inner. Okay, so focusing. My social media is at Jamie Schreiner Sings, and that's on TikTok and Instagram. I think you can also find me on YouTube that way. And big project that's coming up for me, my concept album, Good Grief, which we alluded to earlier in the episode, I am releasing on August 11th, 2025, and it's going to be the short film, the actual album on Spotify you can listen to, or Apple Music, wherever you stream music. And then I'm also going to put out the individual music videos. So if you're like us and your attention span's horrible and you can't watch the whole film, the music videos are going to come out too. But I would prefer you watch the film. That's what I'm going to release first on August 11th, and listen to the album. Please follow me so that you can. That's really, I've like poured my whole heart into this, so I would love for you to check that out. And then to the kids, be yourself. Like literally be yourself. And I think that part of being yourself is becoming the newest version of yourself each and every day. You're like an iPhone. You just keep updating. We keep updating, new upgrades, new information, new growth. And just, yeah, I love you. You're doing great. That's my kid's message. I hope it helps.
One time I heard that, like, imagine every day you wake up and you're in a new universe that was influenced by, like, the decisions you made the day before. And if you just make decisions that make that next universe better, you will actually enter that better universe, like, just by, like, every day, like trying to actively get to that better universe. You actually get there. Like, always imagine that your choices, like, actually ripple into new universes, and, like, through every single choice you actually do, like, change the world in this way. And to me, that's, like, thinking about things in such a way is, like, think in terms of forever, you know, like, no matter who you are. That's just such good advice, because you can,
I think so too.
you naturally find something better, right? And I like that, like, evolving, like, becoming a better version of yourself, because I think that cycle is the only way to get anywhere. Otherwise, you like, fall into that, you become that dark cloud person.
And I
you
think
don't want to be that. You want to be a beautiful ray of sunshine person, if you can.
If you can. And it's like, not every day you're gonna be that. Some day you're gonna be dark. Some days you're gonna be a dark cloud person. But I think as much as you can, it's like, it's striving for that.
Venn diagram, yin and yang, baby.
Also,
Circle.
Okay, we do.
Life.
I was like, I know we have to wrap specifically because of my thing. I do want to ask, before we go, when is your birthday? I have to know what your astrology sign is.
That's great. It's coming up right now. It's May 29th. Every time everybody asks, I just say I'm 27 because.
So you're a Geminasti.
Geminasti.
Yeah. I bet that you and Emily Ogle's episode went crazy.
Oh, she is actually. Only Jason Melton has beat her so far. She was the longest episode for a minute. Yeah. 4 hours. 4 hours.
I'm saying, two Geminis get together. Yeah, I bet that just continues.
She was fantastic.
I love Emily with all of my heart. Emily is the fucking best. When I talk about my vision for my life of, like, just being able to, like, tour with my friends.
She's in that vision for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I would. Oh my God. I mean, it's like.
She's one of the few people who, like, really has made me laugh. Like, when she showed me her arm, when she was showing me her arm and telling me about that whole thing, like, that's one of the funniest things I think anyone has ever put me through. Like, I couldn't believe.
I've never laughed so hard just hanging out with somebody. I've had the blessing and the pleasure of. She opened for me in Louisville last summer. She's going to open for me again in Louisville this summer. But her family took me to Churchill Downs for the horse races. Like, funnest fucking day of my life. Like, me, Emily Ogle's whole family, Churchill Down horse races. Her dad is, like, you know, like, teaching me how to bet on her mom Janet was really into the horse betting, and, like, they were all just getting, like, so drunk. I think I was still drinking at that point in time, so I got sloppy drunk at the races too. But I kind of toned it down because I was like, we had shows that night, so I was like, I gotta, you know, have it. But it was like, I mean, yeah, truly one of the funnest, kindest. I feel like she's a perfect example of, like, her mom loves her, her dad loves, like, that is like, yeah, like that is a child that was loved with tender, precious care. And I do feel like I had roasted her. We did, like, a TikTok or Instagram video where I was like, in spite of being deeply loved by both her parents, still has issues committing to a relationship. But I think that's just because she's a Gemini. That's just being a Gemini. Like, that's just, I don't think that's anything other than, like, you're a Gemini. But anyway, I know that we already ended the episode before my I love Emily rant, but I love Emily.
Oh, that's fine. Well, Emily, like, we hit him with everybody thought it was over. They're like, wait a minute, why is this video still 5 or 10 minutes long? Emily Ogle coming in with we do love you, Emily. Emily's on my list of somebody I want to have back on. She's coming back for sure.
You got it. I feel like I'm gonna make more sketches with her soon as well, because I feel like we keep trying to get together and it keeps not lining up because I've been kind of out of town a lot recently. But yes,
she told me something when I first met her. She was saying something about how she wants to move back. and for at least for a little bit. I can't remember what she was saying. Like she was planning on moving away from Chicago at some point, but I don't know how concrete that was.
I mean, and I feel like that's one of those things where it's like that. I don't think that that's like unheard of. I think it's like one of those things where it's like, it could even just be like a little like sometimes we all need a little reset. And
right.
I think that like
and there's a kind of like a pipeline with the comedy community, like between Chicago and other places.
Oh yes,
so it
absolutely.
almost makes sense as a career choice.
As a career choice, and it's like also like I think if she was in Louisville, she'd be closer to Nashville, and she'd be, you know what I mean? Like it's like I don't.
Oh, is it Louisville? Is that
that's where she's originally from? Was she saying like to her hometown?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
remember.
Again, I do not know specifically that information. I know that she. And I like we're
everybody comment below where Emily is moving. Yeah, because we need to know. We'll ask the people. Watch Emily herself.
I'm about to get out here and be like, what the fuck is this I hear?
Special guest on Ruse Radio.
Yeah, what the fuck is this I hear about you fucking? She'll be like, bitch, I'm taking my nap, and I'll say. That's fair. I'll call you later.
Last thing I'll say is I saw on her story that like the horse betting thing. I wasn't sure how much of that was like in jest, like as a joke. It's funny to hear you like completely legitimize it. Now I know like she's for real, 100% into horse betting. It's a family affair.
Oh, it's a family affair.
Hilarious. It's almost funnier, like a whole family going for a day on the a day at the horse betting place. Like everybody's getting wasted. That's like the family time. Like that's when we get together. That's so funny. Like and I bet her family was a riot. I bet they were great.
They were so funny, and I feel like it's like just all of us there in the blazing sun with like we had the little like brochures of like you got to see the horses, see their stats before you went to make your bets, and you could bet on your phone. But Emily's mom was adamant, like, no, we're betting at the counter because that's part of the experience. As you go with cash, you make your bets, and then you can go up to the counter and you can get in real time, get your money.
Old school
style. So yeah, it was like I've never done anything like that, so it was so fun. It was really just an absolute fucking blast, and I like. Yes, would go again. I don't know if I would do the Derby just because I feel like that's like a bougie rich people thing, but like actually just going to the races because it's like it lasts for the whole season. Like Derby Day is just the kickoff for the horse races. But yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Shout out
Selfie
horse
time.
races.
Shout out to the Ogles. Love you all.
That's the final message I want to leave with you kids is go bet on horses. With all that being said, folks, Radio clocking out.
Double down, competition couldn't help him to rock. Missed the whole time, holy fell through the flock. That's an ordinary miracle, wealth to the block. It's a balance in the character that's calm and collect. It's apparent his caricature is lost in the mess. It's hysterical, the picture that they put to his face. It's a